Hello everyone, I'm Matt, or Gum Mallow, the GM of our Twitch stream. Thank you for listening to this episode of Adventures in Caltournia. Catch us live as the story continues weekly on Monday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy Episode 3, Stuck Between a Rock and a Trash Place. Before we kick things off, just a minor correction. When Sam obtains their new arm, the arm was actually crafted by Alexandra, who is their stepmother, and the project was completed when it was infused with ice flow by Dendrick Goldflow. So, as a note, the arm was actually crafted by Sam's mothers. We are going to start things off with Constantine, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, I am Constantine. I am Gum's friend from up north in Canada, and I played Emotep in our Shores campaign, and Chronicus in our Greek campaign. New character will be Waffles. Waffles is a Raquin, a Capertown subclass or subspecies. He's a little guy, 3'2", about 45 pounds. I come from the area of Banrock Bay, which is a magical town run by druids, and if I'm not mistaken, is inhabited mostly by elves.
You are not mistaken.
Yeah, so we live in solitude in the woods off the dusty trail of Banrock Burn, not in the main town. And it's a quiet little community. We're nice people, but we do get up to some mischief and quite enjoy doing some thieving.
Alright, and we are going to start your story with a small party. Having turned of age, your family is set to see you off, and as is Raquin custom, a gathering of your neighbors, family, and friends has been put together with quite the celebration. You and your parents and a couple friends sit around a campfire talking about all of the adventures that you've had, even just in town or going to Banrockburn. And Kiwi, one of your neighbors, says, "Are you ready for this? You're truly going to leave us here?"
Yeah, I don't know. I've never gone this far away before. It's gonna be different being away from the family and friends that I got used to.
Different is a appropriate word, I suppose. I don't know. Do you have everything you need?
Well, I think so. Mom and Dad helped me pack a fair bit. I got enough food and water and some tasty treats to last my journey. We're gonna make our way southwest to the big city, where there's lots of money, lots of people.
And there's nothing you're forgetting? And she looks at you kind of expectantly as you think back. It's been a few years, but you and Kiwi had quite the moment in a similar situation. Out scouting a caravan of traders to acquire some new merchandise for your family. You were left unattended and slightly oblivious to her intentions before late in the evening she gave you a big old kiss and has been rather attentive to her interests in you, despite your lack of response, we'll say. And you're sure you don't need anybody to go with you?
What's that, Chip? Nah, 1 second. Why, you want to come with?
But I don't know. I thought you might invite me. And she kind of trails off, realizing that you were talking to somebody else while she is trying to talk to you.
I'm like probably pretty buzzed at this point.
Fair.
Yeah, and definitely like ADHD. Over. Probably be like more exasperated when we're all hanging out. I would definitely remember that kiss, and because it would have been like it would have been 6 years. So
yeah, it's been quite a bit of time, and you haven't really made any move to pursue it. Mostly because it's hard to remember smaller moments, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And your mother and father are there, and they're like, we're very proud of you. I hope we're gonna have to find someone to help us acquire merchandise, but are you ready for this? You've got your tools, you've got your pack, you've got food.
I've got food. Everybody gave me a little piece and some snacks and tasty treats and candy.
Okay.
There's never any shortage of food in Caper Town, like ever. Raccoons live for that shit.
Oh yeah. And they kind of look around and see who's paying attention to know what might have been given to who and where. And your mom, whose name is Cranberry, kind of starts like patting at your head and trying to comb your hair and situate you, as you're not going anywhere in the moment, but she's very attentive and nervous to have you go out on the road. It's like you got to be ready. You remember that time? You're not still scared of orcs, are you? I remember you had quite the number of nightmares after we saw that one in Bannockburn.
That was years ago. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
I know, dear, but I just want to make sure that you're well taken care of. I don't want you to be on the road and suddenly decide... I mean, I guess I do want you to suddenly decide you want to come home, but... Oh, your father said I'm not supposed to say that. Never mind that part.
I'm 18 now. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. No big scary orcs are gonna spook me. And I kind of look over my shoulder really quick.
And looking over your shoulder, you do see an odd shadow gathered near a couple trees, and you hear a low
What was that?
What was what, dear?
You didn't hear that?
No, I don't think so. Perhaps you should go investigate. Get ready for your adventures on the road.
Okay. So I would walk over I'm tiptoeing, but it's obvious that everybody can see me.
Oh yeah. And as you make your way closer, you hear a few voices speaking in unison. Yes, come here, little one. We've come to feast on a raccoon.
Who are you?
And as you ask, a group of 6 raccoon who have been hiding behind the tree, attempting to shape out an orc's shadow, all jump around at you.
Fucking run away.
And your father's like, "Now, come. We told you not to do that. Waffles is ready. He made his choice. Cranberry, I told you not to get those boys. Boys, get out of here. Go on. Go. Shoot." And your dad kind of chases off the group that had clustered together behind the tree. I don't know. You know your mother doesn't want you to leave, but every man has his time, right?
That's right, Dad.
Well, as long as you're sure that you're ready. Now, remember, there are rules. Although the Rakwin are not a young people, there are still many who do not trust us. The raccoons that... Well, you know we've always been a crafty folk. Many will suspect that you are here to steal from them.
I kind of grin, ear to ear.
Yes, I know you are in fact there to steal from them, but don't let so many people think so.
I'll do my best, Dad.
Alright, as long as you try, that's what's important. I know it's going to be a wonderful journey. Do you have plans? Do you know where you want to go?
I made plans with Shipmaster to take me to Hullfield.
Hullfield is a beautiful place, and one I think you could thrive at. Be sure to visit the temple. I'm told they have wonderful customs and hospitality for visitors.
Is there food?
Always. I'm sure you'll never go anywhere where you'll not find food.
There's lots of money too, right? Everybody keeps talking about money. Everybody has money there.
Yes, money is important. It's not quite like our community. You know, we subside on what we can do for one another. But out there, and your father pulls a small pouch off and hands it to you. Like, you're going to need these. Now, there's not much in there. There's only like 7 silver that we have gathered that we can spare. I need more to collect supplies since our bargainer and supplier will be traveling on the road. But I trust it's enough to keep you safe.
I'll bring home so much more, Dad.
I hope you will.
Make you proud.
You already do. I just take care of yourself and make sure you write to your mother.
I will. I'll send messages. And I give him a hug.
Aww.
Aww.
And with your hug, we transition a little bit to life on, maybe not the high sea, but on a river, as you take the chartered boat heading towards Hullfield. Waves crash against the side under a particularly stormy evening. As the captain is like, alright, I need everyone in the ship, everyone under decks. We have a storm approaching. We do expect that there will be... And he looks at you, he's like, no, you are definitely going to need to be below decks. You will wash right over the edge.
Never really liked being on a boat. I would probably have pretty bad seasickness and just...
Oh yeah, you are
down below.
You are a little green. And the captain ushers you and a few others below decks as you spend a very, very stormy evening and get quite shaken up by the boat. As morning comes and the storm subsides, the captain comes down and is like, alright, all of you can exit, just take care. There were some incidents, and even now looking up, you can see light shining through the deck where pieces of the ship have broken. Before a few hours pass, and the captain says, We're due to make land in Hullfield today. How many of you are departing?
I raise my paw.
Yes, 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh yes, you little one. I see.
Yeah, I'd have to probably on my tippy toes.
Yeah, you're like jumping up a little bit. He's like, all right, well, gather your belongings, set yourself up by the port, and we will make sure in roughly 30 minutes. And as people are gathering all of their belongings, you see a prime opportunity.
I was gonna say, like, as I walk out, is there anybody who looks like pretty well off?
Oh yeah, especially compared to you. Like, there are people like what?
I said eyes poor.
Yeah. There are people there who are at least merchant class. Like, rich people are going to travel on a slightly more private vessel. But you can see, like, a couple well-off merchants who, in an attempt to save money on a fancier boat, have taken this ship and have couriers with a few different boxes of things. Like, yes, come along, yes, come, Reginald, hurry it up. Put the boxes... I said place politely, not drop the box, not throw the box, place the box. Dear God, it's a wonder we hire you. I should leave you on this ship.
So, do I see what's in the box?
There are a couple sealed crates next to it. Spilling out of this box, you can see what looks like glass with silvered backing, and it is pieces of mirror. And as the box settles, you hear additional jingling coming from inside.
So I would like maybe like stumble a little bit and like trip and fall towards it.
Okay.
All clumsy like. And then maybe while I'm on top of it, I would try to like sneak some of it into my pouch on my belt.
Okay.
Some of whatever. I don't even know what it is.
So, with your sleight of hand, you unfortunately cut yourself a tiny bit, but you do manage to grab what you thought was a set of coins is instead silvered marbles. They are slightly larger than oh my god, what's the thing? The bag of ball bearings. It would take 3 ball bearings set together to equal the size of this marble that appears to be made of pure silver.
That's fun.
And
So yeah, I would shove those in the pouch and apologize for tripping into their stuff and move along my way. Sorry about that. I don't have my sea legs. First time on a boat.
And the merchant comes over and is like, it's fine. Reginald, apologize to this Raquin. Look what you've done. The mess that you have caused.
I like just give him a nod. Like, it's fine.
It's fine. And Reginald looks at you. He's like, yes, I'm quite sorry, sir. I didn't intend to do any of that. Is there anything I can help you with? And the merchant's like, no, you can't help him! You're helping me! As you finally make shore and watch poor Reginald unload this series of boxes one by one as the merchant just continues to bark orders at him.
They're unloaded. They're disembarking too in Hullfield?
Yes, they are also disembarking in Hullfield.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for Reginald later.
So looking around Hullfield, your father wasn't kidding. There is quite the fancy temple set out to the northeast, and what appears to be a townhouse set on a raised area right in the center of town.
Is that the temple?
There's not the temple. So at the
Okay.
center of town, there is what looks like the Lord's Manor, and then the temple is huge and old, made of various aged bricks, and has a small gazebo set out front with some amazing trees growing around.
I would just be like in complete shock and awe of just everything, like the structures and the people, the different species, presumably of creatures. I've probably never seen half of that stuff. I've definitely never seen architecture like that. Van Rockburn being, mostly made with like trees and stuff in the woods.
Yep. Yeah, it's odd to see stones arranged. And part of you is like, why would you bother? Like, trees provide things, and you can just exist. Like, you could climb up in the limbs and have a home there. And instead, these fools have taken the time to unearth stone and shape it into a building.
Bunch of weirdos. And I kind of shrug. And I keep looking around, like my head's like on a swivel. But I would keep looking around and slowly make my way towards that temple.
The temple is the easiest thing to reach, as it appears, although it is offset into a corner, every road in town leads there.
Okay.
And as you step into the temple, we are going to introduce our second player for the evening.
How?
Hello, buddy. If you would
Hi.
like to go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris, or Gabagool, or in our previous games, if you guys been following, Tuga, and other Tuga, and the also charismatic and dashing Bard.
Ball.
For our Caltournia game, I will be playing as Raucous Rockwell, the only nobling of a humble yet well-known Rockwell clan. I'm a young, 174-year-old, and at 3'3" and around 45 pounds, I'm definitely a healthy one. I was born in a very well-respected family, but unfortunately, I was born with the magical prowess of a rock. I was not born with any magical ability, which labeled me as a cursed dim in our culture. The Gnome Society is led by the Thunderbolt Shadow Order. They're essentially our pinnacle wizard group, and two of the wizards that are on this group are my parents. The leader, or our expert in Curus, our main person, is the Master Archwizard Guilford, who is absent, and he has been away on one of his many adventures. Our society are zealot followers of Romus, and when we're born, there's a ceremony that we call Tharden Nost, or Magic Blood. And during the ceremony, a portion of our magical power is given as an offering to Romus. Me, I wasn't able to, obviously, but maybe my adventures will help me find my power. That's it for right now.
Okay. And we find Raucous set in a small cavern, harvesting various crystals and minerals there. As you hear someone step behind you and clear her throat. She's like, "Excuse me, young one."
What are you doing here?
I believe it is you that I seek. Are you without magic, young one?
I kind of look down, not meet her eyes, and say, "Yes, it is me, Raucous, the cursed dim of the Rockmans."
And Raucous, what do you know of others? What do you know outside your home?
It is scary. Our elders have told us those who venture outside and those who are not full wizards will succumb to the outside world's influence.
Perhaps that might be true, but... And you watch as this gnome woman shifts into a very tall, and it's not hard to be tall to a gnome.
Especially at 3'3".
But as she approaches 10 feet and 11 feet and takes on a steady glow, she says, "You know, what if everything you had heard wasn't true?"
Well, what do you mean?
Well, you see, I know that you worship Ramus, or at least your town does.
Yeah, we all do. If we do not, we're exiled and, even worse, cut off with our magic, but that doesn't matter to me.
Ah, but you have no magic. So what prevents you from exile?
My family. It's scary out there, and though we can learn as much as we can from books, living it is a completely different experience.
Did you know there are ways to learn outside of books? Ways that even Master Gilforg has left in his wake.
Master Gelford? Do you know where he is?
I know of him, but I know one who is sure of his location.
Please, you have to tell me. There's so many questions I have to ask him.
And you watch as she holds out her left hand and waves over it, forming a small dagger that glows with radiant light.
What are you going to do with that?
Perhaps I will bless one who understands the gift, so long as you listen to he who follows it.
Oh, okay.
And she holds the dagger out to you, handle first.
Before I grab this dagger, you haven't cursed it or anything, have you?
No, I have no interest in curses. But one of my sons has an interest in you that the other should have quite some time ago.
Who are you again?
I am many things. I am all of creation. My name is Kaisis.
Oh, my lady. And I kind of drop to my knees. I am so sorry to have questioned you.
Worry not. I know that not many are welcome here outside of Ramus, but that fool of a son, he gets into dark deeds sometimes and cannot be trusted.
Yeah, in the libraries they talk about you, not in a kind way.
Well, perhaps myself and my son Odai could change your mind, young Raucus.
Odai? He is here as well?
He could be, if you would welcome him, but... And she holds out the dagger once more. It is your choice to make.
Well, as a magicless gnome, my future is pretty bleak, even if I am part of my family. Alright, I will take this dagger, and if it is to be my fate, then I shall grab it. And I grab the dagger, but kind of very what's the word? Nervously.
Okay. So grabbing onto the dagger, you feel a familiar sensation as when somebody has performed magic on you, that slight tingle in the back of your head, and you begin to hear the pounding of a hammer on an anvil.
Do you hear that? That hammer.
And you look up to see that Kaisis has vanished.
Kaisis, where are you? Did I do something wrong?
As the hammering continues and gets louder and louder, you see the end of the dagger begin to glow. And a familiar sight takes shape at the end, as your carving of a small rock friend floats about at the end of the dagger, dancing a bit before waving at you.
My precious Peebo.
It is indeed your precious Peebo.
Peebo, what are you doing here? Okay. That's cool.
And a much deeper voice answers and says, "Perhaps it is time that your magic was actually awakened, dear Raucus. You have taken such care to allude to others that your magic is present through your carvings, through Peebo, and now through your interest in Master Gilforg. And you feel
Is this Odias?
You feel a heavy hand on your shoulder
I turn around.
as Odai stands behind you. Like, yes, young one, I believe that perhaps it is time to begin your freedom from my brother.
I would very much like that.
Now, to do this, you understand you'll have to leave. Are you prepared to walk from your family?
If it wasn't today, it'd be another day till they found out that I was not a true follower of Ramus. I believe I should leave. I trust you. So yes, my answer is yes. I shall avenge her.
Very well, then. Perhaps hold on to that dagger that has been gifted to you. Isis wishes to win your favor, and perhaps I can as well. A gift. Something of Master Gilforg's for you to seek him out.
Oh.
You have heard the legends of his recordings.
Yes. They are legends and whispers of his deeds, his items.
Indeed. And he pulls forth a small spell shard.
Oh. That can't be. That... Truly, my eyes aren't deceiving me. Is that a spell shard?
It's one of many, and perhaps the first clue that will guide you on your path to find Gilforg. Now, what is contained within can both teach you and harm you if you are not careful. You must know your limitations.
That's very reasonable. I wouldn't expect myself to do a 9th level spell, but hey.
Well, perhaps we can start with something much simpler. But first, I should say, Master Gilforg was last known to be in the town of Lustra.
Lustra, I remember that city from my readings.
Though hardly a city anymore, there are many there who can help you. They have a library. They have venerable workers of the magical arts. You could find knowledge there that the gnomes will not share willingly, that Ramus does not allow.
Yes. Which is much.
It is much indeed, for he wishes to only increase his own might, not those who serve him.
But he told us he was leading us to salvation.
I am certain he has said a great many things, but surely you are wise enough to have noticed how people are treated here, and what happens when he appears.
It's fear. It's this chilling sensation that runs down my neck. Something you do not make me feel. You make me feel loved.
Love is important, and fairness as well. Do you know the truth of your condition, young Raucus?
Well, the elders and my parents have just dismissed it as a rare occurrence. Someone in my family displeased Ramus. The names and nicknames and jeering is all the same, though.
Well, perhaps the person that displeased Ramus was you, but not out of any action of your own. Ramus fears what you might become, and took your gift from you. You are not the first, and you will not be the last, but seek out Master Guilford. He has great knowledge that could be of assistance to you.
Okay, I shall. As you will it. I thank you for what you have given me today. Not just this knowledge, but hope. Hope that one day I can be more than me and make my family proud. And hopefully save my people.
I promise, young Raucus, you don't need to be anything more than yourself. You should be proud of who you are and how you've survived in these conditions. Now, study well that spell shard. You may find it will reserve even some new knowledge, given time. And he kind of pats you on the back. Like, now, I must step back before I am noticed.
I understand. If anyone comes, I shall tell them that it was I talking to Bebo.
Very well. And when the time comes and you wish to learn, speak my name to the shard to gain access to its secrets.
Shall.
And with the ringing sound of a forge, Odai steps away.
Where do those hammers come from?
It's magic. And you find yourself questioning for a moment, but sitting tight as you now have this small dagger emblem in your hand and a spell shard in the other.
I just look at Peebo. Well, Peebo, looks like we have another adventure we shall be on.
Another adventure indeed, as Peebo just sits there and stares at you.
Yep. An inanimate object.
As night settles in, and the remainder of town goes to sleep, you find yourself almost vibrating with energy as you think about where you're going and the adventures it's going to bring you on.
I think I'd just consult one of the maps. Sneakily, of course.
Not many people pay attention to the mapping sections, as no one in town truly wants to leave, at least
Gotcha.
at the moment. And you find something that marks out the path from Brokenstead to Lustra.
Seems like I will have to be traveling for a couple of days, huh? I
Yeah.
shall probably get my provisions ready.
And you pack and set out for a week's travel.
I will try to leave as sneakily as I can, but I'll message this later. But I have to get past the guard to our city.
Fair. It's not too much of a challenge. You being without magic has frequently led to people dismissing what you could be capable of, magic or otherwise. And even as you sneak, you're not terribly good at it. But
I just make Peebo do the stealth check for me.
and although the guard notices you, they just kind of pretend they didn't, because that would mean having to explain or stop you and bring you to your parents, and it's just too much work for them.
What a glorious start for the adventures of Raucous Rockwell.
Raucous
Peebo.
Rockwell.
Boy wonder Peebo.
The boy wonder.
Alright, so on the road.
On the road, it takes you slightly longer than expected. As you approach the 5-day mark, you just reach the outskirts of a small town. Well, not terribly small. Surrounded by beautiful timber forests. You see a path leading in just as night begins to fall.
Must get inside before night. Must get there. As I'm running, but to everyone else, I'm just moving normally.
As you quickly hustle your way into town, you manage to find an open room at the inn, just as a thunderstorm sets in.
Thunder.
Many of the patrons seem unconcerned. Storms seem usual for this time of year, but very odd to you in a place where the weather is controlled and most of you are underground. So, all of the sudden, the sky is lighting up and the ground is shaking as you sit in this inn, preparing for the next leg of your adventure.
Everything is all right.
Everything is A-okay.
I am just going to make sure I have everything on me. I'm gonna look at the spell shard. I'm just gonna look it over and just know anything interesting about it.
So just looking at it or tuning into it?
You know what? I will attune tuning into it. Yeah.
Okay. So, tuning in, you begin to read/hear Gilforg's voice saying, "If you have found this shard, you are well on your path to finding me and finding my power. Now this may be just a touch, but if you are creative, this can be everything. Read well, take care, and do no harm with the knowledge that you are provided within this shard. And as you're sitting there, you see almost a movie of Gilforg talking to you as he sits in a chair much too large for him.
He's so cool.
I'm totally fangirling right now.
Fangirl. And thanks to the shard, as long as you carry it, you have access to the prestidigitation spell.
Neato.
Since you don't technically have any levels at this time. Waffles and Raucous, you are both in the town of Hullfield. As morning breaks, Waffles, you step outside. Well, you step out of the tree that you have taken shelter in for the evening and see a small gnome in relatively fancy robes holding a rock in one hand and talking to it. And it's something that you've heard of before. People using sending stones. You know that they're quite valuable.
Yeah, I would, kind of low-key step down from a tree and, do the old stretch. And as I'm stretching, I look sideways at this gnome, and I see, and kind of, casually start following them. Keeping a distance, though, I highly doubt they would notice me.
They are not at the moment capable of picking up that you are tailing them.
No, I don't believe he's wearing anything cool, much of it, I guess.
Yeah, so this gnome... Now, what little you know of magic is at least enough to be like, this shouldn't be able to go on this long. That rock has got to be very valuable.
Oh, being that, sending stones only last...
Sending
X amount of
stones
words.
typically only do 1 or 2 messages. But this gnome seems to be having quite the conversation with whoever is at the other end.
Which way are we walking to now?
As Raucous, you are heading out of town, prepped for your day's journey to complete the path to Lustra.
Just keep on walking, just continuously talk to Peebo.
Well, Peebo, I don't know what the weather's like in Lustra. I've never been there.
I don't think I'm in earshot. I could probably just hear this guy talking.
Yeah, I
but not
don't know
really
if you
what
could
they're
hear
saying.
what. Yeah, I don't know if you could make out exactly what's being said, but the back and forth conversation,
At this point, I'm thinking to myself, what is this person's malfunction? Why are they speaking to a rock? We're still in town. I would probably look for some way to grab their attention, but not to me, towards something else.
it's not hard to do. There is a lot to see in Hullfield. As you're walking around, there's merchants, there's an open bar in one area of town, and of course the team of loggers that are moving about as they head towards their section of the forest to begin taking down some trees. So the distraction is your choice, whatever you would like to do.
If it helps, I'm going towards some markets or something. Waffles.
Okay. I'd probably start making quicker pace, but not so much behind the gnome anymore. Probably just briskly walking through the market, kind of quickly glancing down at things, trying to get in front of them so that I
Okay.
could do the old bump into them, Bumperoo.
The bumperooskies.
And that's pretty easily managed. You are faster than Raucus. And with your natural stealth, you're able to weave your way in and out of crowds. A few people look questioningly at you as it's curious to see a Rakwin just wandering around Hallfield.
I give them kind of dirty looks, the ones that look at me.
They're like, "What? I haven't seen a Rakwin in ages. What? They don't often come here. They usually go to Kilmarnock. I wonder what's going on." And a couple kids run up and they're just like, "Fuzzy bear! Fuzzy bear!"
Like, what? You never seen a talking raccoon before?
Ah! And sprint away. As you have successfully made your way to be in the path that Raucus is walking.
Okay. So I would look at Raucus in my periphery, but be looking like completely different directions, so that I would innocently kind of walk into them.
Okay.
And pretty much try to knock them down. In the process too, like, could I have maybe grabbed another rock of like similar-ish? I know I wouldn't really know exactly what size it was, but just give him the old switcheroo.
Yeah, you might not know exactly the size, but you could gauge rough estimate from
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's pretty much between you two. Let me know what happens.
Alright. I'm not gonna notice because I'm just walking ahead. I just keep talking to Peebo. I know, Peebo. I know this dress is a little dirty. I'll get it clean. God. And then I'll be like, wait a minute. Peebo? I look down at my hand and it's just a rock.
Yeah, it is no longer a shaped figure, as there is just a rather large pebble just hanging out in your hand.
I just say to myself, have I gone insane? Have I just been talking to a rock all this time? No, that's wrong. Where is Peebo?
Being pretty excited of like a new score. I wouldn't really get too far. Maybe a couple of shops down and then just kind of turn right into an alley to like have a closer look at what I just got. See if it was a sending stone.
Yeah, so you step into an alley, and normally a sending stone you see is something that's rune marked and pretty easily noticeable. And while this is roughly the same size as your average sending stone, it is shaped like a tiny humanoid. Is that correct, Raucus?
Yes.
What does
It's like a
Peebo
little
look
rock
like?
monster. Yeah. Well, he's bipedal. He has 2 legs and cute little stubby arms. His head is kind of in the center of his body, and he has pretty rock shoulder pads, like little gems that stick out of him. He is my baby, and if something happens to him, I will kill him.
Oh, shit.
So there you go.
They're sentient, right? Like sentient.
To you, he's just a rock, but to our people, they have some sentience. So
Fair.
we can converse with them.
So even though like I'm not dumb, I'm still don't really know magic anything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like shaking this. Why don't you do anything? Like, what are you supposed to do? I'm like looking at it like upside down, like flipping it around.
Is it okay if I like kind of find out where they are?
Yeah, so as you're walking around trying to see where Peebo went, you hear as much as any gnome hears a response from a rock, and look down one of the side spaces between the shops, and see this Rakwin just shaking Peebo, being like, "Why won't you work?"
Yeah, I'm getting like visibly frustrated and probably kind of loud.
Hey, you! What?
Huh?
You
You hairy thing. Unhand Peebo.
What's a Peebo?
The person you're shaking right now. Put him down.
It's a rock.
It's not a rock. It's my friend.
I look down at it, and then
Peebo's out in like arms crossed.
Oh, so it moved?
You think it moved?
I'm just like so confused now.
Like, just can you please give me back my friend? I've had him for many years. You seem. Do you need money? Here, just take my money, please. Just give me back my friend.
I only would really steal from well-off people, especially somebody approaching me like that. So I definitely give it back. Here's your rock. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I
odd.
didn't mean to offend.
What you thought was a well-off person, as you're looking closer, like, Raucus is dirty, for one.
Wow. Just come out and say it, Gum.
You already said it. There is a light film of dust and gems that have made Raucus appear more well off, and really it's just that in his haste after meeting Odai, he didn't really clean himself up from mining gemstones. So there's just like little flecks that shine every so often as Raucus kind of leans over his hand and talks to Peebo and makes sure that he's okay.
Yes, Peebo, you are okay. I'm so sorry.
What is that alive? What is that thing?
Yes, it's Peebo. Peebo, here. Excuse me. What is your name?
People call me Waffles.
Waffles.
Or W.
W. Okay. Okay. Well, introductions, I guess. My name is Raucus Rockwell.
Your name
And
is
this
Raucus.
is Yes.
And you have a rock named
Yes.
Peebo.
Yes. The joke
Well,
does not fall upon me, but
It's nice to meet you.
it's very nice to meet you as well.
I'm sorry for stealing your things. I like to only steal from rich people, and you really look much more well off. I can see now that you really don't have much money, and I'm not interested in taking what you have.
Thank you. I am very poor.
I was just gonna say, like, thank you. Yes, I am quite poor.
low key job.
Tell me, Waffles, where are you going? I didn't notice you pickpocketing me, and for some reason I sense a aura of magic around you. Tell me, do you like magic?
I don't know much about magic. I guess I like it. What I've seen about it, I don't know anything about it though. It looks neat.
It is quite neat.
Do you know about magic?
No magic. I'm part magic.
And I use prestidigitation to just do a bunch of fireworks.
It's kind of like my eyes open. Wow.
It smells like a real gunpowder. Well, truth be told, I'm traveling to a town called Lustra. You may have heard of it. Yes? No?
I'm not from around here. I'm new here. I just left home, and I've never been anywhere.
Well,
This
awkward. I was going to ask if you would like to accompany me there.
what's in
have-
Lustra?
Well, in Lustra, there's someone I need to find. I am pursuing a very famous wizard in our people's culture. Well, how about this? If you accompany me, I shall show you some more magical tricks and maybe teach you some magic. If that interests you, of course.
That is interesting. What else is in Lustra? Is it big like this place?
Sure.
I have no idea, so I'm like totally believing you.
It's totally rad.
Totally rad.
But yes, would you like to come?
Well, I mean, I don't know anybody here, and you seem like a pretty nice person.
And as you're agreeing to this, one of the shopkeepers looks down the aisle and is like, "You! Get over here!" Pointing to you, Waffles.
Is that Scorpion?
What?
Yeah, you! I saw you wander near my booth. You out here thieving?
I think he's talking to you, Sir Waffles.
Not from you. What's your problem?
Not from you. He begins to run down this small lane at you. He's like, "We don't take kindly to any thieves around here, and I definitely saw you pocket something."
It was his rock.
Yes, Peebo.
He just kind of like looks at the gnome standing next to you, kind of recognizing that you're there for the first time.
I try to make Peebo like do a little dance. To me, he's doing a dance, but to everyone else, I'm just like throwing him in the air.
See, he's real.
And looks back at Waffles and is like, what? Is your friend okay?
Kind of shrug.
See, he's doing the Turkish dance now. Go, Peebo, go.
He's not doing anything. You're just throwing him lightly.
I'm not listening to him. I'm using prestidigitation to make like a Lightworks effect go around Peebo.
Now he's in a rave.
I'm slowly becoming disconnected with reality as I start playing with my rock toy.
This is cool.
And the guy just looks at the both of you and just slowly backs away. No apologies, no nothing. Just steady backing out of the alley.
After 2 minutes of me playing with Peebo, I just look up and
Waffles, where was that shopkeep? I wanted to show him something cool.
I think he saw your light show and you scared him.
He was just intimidated by Peebo's mad skills.
Peebo's mad skills.
Yeah.
Well, let us, leave this alleyway, huh?
Sure. So tell me about Lustra. Is it far away? How do we get there?
It's far away, I believe. It's,
I don't know how many couple of days from Hallfield, right?
Yeah, it's about a day and a half walk from Hallfield. For you.
Okay.
It'd probably
For
be
you.
shorter for Waffles. But, gotta move at Raucus's speed.
Train and stuff? Yeah.
well, it shouldn't take more than a day, but unfortunately I do not have what you have, which is strong legs. This is how fast I could run.
I start running into him at just like a slow pace.
I like hop up beside him, like jumping on little like rooftops of shops.
Oh my god, you're so fast! What are you? Wow! People, look at this!
I'm a
He can-
Raquin, and I
he
like
can
put my
jump.
hands on my hips. Like pose.
And
What
as you're looking, Raucus is just holding the rock in your direction, instructing it to look at you.
Peebo, look! A Rackwind! No, I won't ask him that. That's very invasive. Okay, fine, I'll ask him. Waffles, what type of animal are you?
I'm a raccoon.
A raccoon, huh?
I look at Peebo.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. but we'll just go with it. Us rock gnomes have not seen much animal. We get to see rocks all day.
I haven't seen much rock gnomes.
Touche!
Will we travel alone? Is it dangerous?
Well, it's never dangerous with me, Heracus Rockwell, and Peebo. Come, my friend, let us set off.
Hey, so. Like, fall into this weird gnome I just met.
Yo, I love this this buddy cop. Like,
And set off down the road you do. It's a relatively easy trail. The most distracting thing is you keep hearing the oddest discussions behind you. And stepping off to the side of the trail for a moment, you see a halfling and a triton walking together, talking about their journey to Lustra and their prep for adventures.
What's that? Some kind of fish person?
I
seen one of those.
believe that is a mermaid.
A mermaid?
Or a manatee.
I've never seen a mermaid. I've heard of them. There's a legend of a shark man in my area, but I've never seen him.
I turn Peebo towards you and then say, Peebo is intrigued.
Peebo is intrigued. And he is indeed. Peebo begins to dance and point in your hand.
Do you see that, Waffles? He's pointing.
Oh, and I can see it now?
No, you can't see shit.
Oh, okay.
You just see Raucus, like, lightly leaning his hand as Peebo shakes a little bit. I imagine that Peebo is just a weeble wobble.
I haven't, like, figured out exactly what the... I'll send you stuff, but...
Okay.
For now, sure, yeah, we can figure it out.
So... You watch as the Triton and the Halfling continue on. And then see a group of guards wandering about. And they see you on the side of the road and they say, "Excuse me, we are seeking a hooligan who raided our caravansary last evening. Have you seen...
me.
No. Have you seen a young man, mid to late 30s, styled, side-edged hair, large scar running down the left side of his cheek?"
I point Peebo to them. Does he look like this? Because Peebo is dressed as exactly the guard's description, but only I can see it.
No, friend. He looks like I described, not like a rock.
Wow, very tolerant of you.
I just shrug at the guard. Like, I don't know.
Oh.
Well, me and my companions here have not seen such a hooligan described. We just see the road.
I've just seen a fish man and a short man, not a tall
A
man.
manatee. We saw a manatee.
Excellent, I suppose? Be safe, the two of you. And they just step away. Everyone that walks away from the two of you just seems to back away slowly.
It's okay, Peebo. They are not scared of you.
Are we scary? And I'm like looking. I look at Raucus. Why do people keep doing that?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Whatever. Let's keep going.
So the Triton is walking behind us?
The Triton is now walking ahead.
Yeah, they passed us.
Should we follow them? They kind of seem to be going the same place.
They are taller than 5'5", which I'm scared about, but
Only one of them.
Only one of them. The other one is
Oh.
actually shorter than you, Raucus.
halflings are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
in
pretty
general.
sure Sam is 3'2", so not much shorter, but shorter.
Like an inch.
Yeah, and Waffles is the shortest of the group at 3 foot even.
Hey, that 1 inch when you're 3 feet is a big deal.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's like 2 whole feet for us. Let's see where these two are going. Let's not be so close, but I shall follow your stealthy ways, Sir Waffles.
We would just, I'd keep my distance like 100 yards or something, maybe just out of earshot. But I feel like if they turned around, they would just see us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty open road as you make your way towards Lustra. And every so often, you see the group of guards stopping to question another set of people. And it's not too long before, Waffles, you get a strange feeling, and then feel a tug at your waist as a young man, mid-20s, with dark hair and a large scar, grabs one of the pouches at your belt and begins to sprint away.
Hey, get back here.
I throw Peebo at him.
Peebo, help me.
Yeah, I would definitely give chase, or try to catch him.
Okay. So you launch Peebo at this young man,
Chuck it.
and it hits him in the back, and he stops for a minute and looks at you like, was that supposed to hurt?
No, it's Peebo's first attack. What?
All right, well, I'll be going then.
I'm just gonna throw him again.
And
I just immediately try to get Peebo and just chuck him again.
okay. So as you get to Peebo again and wing him at this man, he turns around and is like, that's enough. That's quite enough of this, and begins to run at you full speed.
That's my pouch. I don't know you.
See, this is one of many Peebo's attacks. It shall be a relentless onslaught.
As I pick up Peebo again.
Oh
Come at me,
god.
nerd.
And he does sprint right towards you. It's like, if you really wish to do this, perhaps I shall take everything you own.
Can I trip him?
Yeah.
Good thing I have no money.
Yeah, I'm literally just wearing the clothes on my back, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I mean, the pouch that he stole is most
it
likely
the
your
ball
travel
bearings or
rations.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was just like snacks.
Yeah, he took your
Yeah,
bag
so-
of snacks.
To be fair, I might want those snacks over the silver ball bearings.
He
I
just
mean-
opens up.
Yeah, he just looks in the bag and it's just fucking beef jerky.
It's Peebo. It's Peebo eating all the beef jerky. How'd you get in here?
He's like, listen, that's quite enough of you. I have places to be. I can't have you...
I throw
Throwing-
Peebo at him and again.
And you get it, perfectly timed. As he is bitching, you get Peebo in his mouth.
See, that is Peebo's secret attack. Mouth attack.
And you just hear... as he spits Peebo on the ground and goes to step on him.
Try it. He's made out of rock, you fool.
Now, that is more than enough! And as you're arguing, the guards begin to rush towards you
Yes, guards, here. We have a hooligan.
and become quite suspicious. It's like, hey! You said that you knew nothing about this man!
He just stole our rations. This scoundrel.
It's the tall man with the ugly face.
Yes. Peebo has tried to disarm him.
And the unnamed man claps you on the back, Waffles, and is like, no, We are quite friends. How dare you call me ugly, you brigand! And picks you up.
Don't pick me up.
I throw Peebo right in his face again.
I would try to like scurry.
Yeah,
free.
just
I'm
just
like flailing now.
just like an actual raccoon. Just
Yeah,
like
I'm flailing.
Yeah, so he begins to hold you, like, at arm's length. Like, listen, we've talked about this, friend. You can't just climb all over me. I'm not that kind of friend.
well, okay. I mean, you're not our friend anyway, so.
And, as the guards catch up, they kind of look very questioningly to be like, he says they're his friends, and yet...
No,
I'm like shaking my head. Like,
no, he's not our friend. Please get him. He stole our rations.
He stole your food?
Yes. Waffles, look. Look at how much. Look at his clothes. He has only food left. Would you.
Yes, you do look like quite the poor. I'm not sure why.
Thank you, we are very poor.
Very well, and the guards move and capture this unnamed man. And it's like, that's quite enough of you. I don't even know what we're supposed to call you at this point. You've used so many names, but this is the last time that you swindle Erickson.
Erickson? Who is Erickson?
Oh, forgive me. Erickson is our boss and the owner of the Caravanserai just past Hullfield, if you're heading that way.
I go to Waffles. Are we heading that way? Even though I'm the one that knows the way to Lustra.
No,
It is-
We just left there.
Yeah, it is the opposite way you're going. Like, he points.
It's okay. I'm so sorry, but the direction you're pointing is the place we do not want to go.
I see. Well, and he begins to go through the bags that this man is holding, and is like, well, we've got some, I believe this is yours, and hands over, not your bag of rations, but a much fuller bag of rations.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I'm just looking over at Waffles and just like, yes, we have more food now.
It's like, is that all that he managed to grab from you? He's got quite the assortment of pouches here.
I look over to Waffles and wink.
Let me see. Let me check all my stuff.
Ah, yes. 5,000 gold. How much money does he have?
The guard has not told you, but you can see that this person is carrying 6 other sacks that are about to get searched.
I would take just 2 at random and be like, yeah, these are mine. One is Rockus's and the other one's mine.
Yes, look. I have no pouch on me. And I just kind of like shake my body and just Peebo just falls down.
Alright, I apologize. And he goes through the other 4 pouches and is like, this is it! And shakes one of them. I can't believe you tried to steal from Erickson again. It's the last time we let you stay at one of our encampments. And you're a little sad that the guard is holding a bag of like 75 gold. Now then, you two, you're not friends of this man.
I don't know his name.
Well, to be fair, we don't know his name either.
Good.
And he just looks at you confused, like that is not the response that fits that question. Very well. You have your belongings. Take care on heading to Lustra. You should be able to make it there swiftly. But never forget, Erickson's Caravanserai is the place to stay when you can't reach a town.
That sounds like an ad.
Perhaps. Should we be charging Erickson to And the group of guards begin to discuss, like, how much money they should get for each person they bring in.
You should talk to your union.
Perhaps we should. Perhaps we should take the route that the Heroes Guild took. We could unionize. And then only us could lead the encampments and protect. And they look at you and they're like, yes, you're heading to Lustra, right?
Yes.
Surely you've heard of the Heroes Guild. You're going there to join, correct?
Totally. Right? Waffles?
Totally.
Yeah. What's a union?
What's a union? Well, you see, and one of the guards pulls out a small engraved piece of metal. And you can see that it is a licensure of hero work. I did my fair share of time at Lustra before joining Ericsson's guard, and there are those out there who, those fake heroes, who try to get in and take good money from people without actually doing the work. But these union cards say that we can be heroes anywhere, and are proof that we can get the job done.
Cool.
And it's just kind of like, is that not impressive to you?
It's very impressive, right, Peebo?
No, totally impressive.
Just look at the rock. Peebo's totally like nodding, but like you guys just see me put his head in the ground.
He's showing his approval.
Is that what he's... I don't understand. I'm sorry, friend. I mean you... No discourtesy. I'm sure... Peebo, is it?
Sir Peebo.
I'm certain that Sir Peebo is just wonderful. Just wonderful.
He is. Cool.
Cool.
Care to say anything else, Waffles?
What's a union?
He's gonna re-explain everything.
What? I just...
It's like a tutorial.
Never mind. Safe travels, and keep an eye out for... And he kind of looks around. He's like, have you heard of the Sworn?
Swarm? Swarm?
The Sworn, with an N, friends.
Oh! Swarm! No, I'm not.
I heard word from some old guild friends that they're causing trouble. Unlicensed heroes wandering about. Don't trust them if you come across them. They'll just take your money and leave.
Just like that man almost did.
Just like that man with your food.
Well, thank you for the warning.
How do we know if they're unlicensed? Oh, the insignia.
The Union.
The union.
The Union.
Yes, make sure that they show you a license.
Is there any way to ensure they're not showing us a fake? See?
That is an excellent question, friend. That's the kind of thinking that'll take you places with the guild.
I didn't think that Peebo told me.
Have yourselves a lovely day. And
Back away slowly.
they take their prisoner and move off towards the caravansary.
He never told me the answer. Sad face. Well, that was eventful. Let's keep going, Waffles.
Yeah. I look in the bag too. What did I get?
Yeah.
Inside the bag, looking at the one that you picked up, Waffles, there is 12 copper and a small broken dagger that looks like it could be pretty easily concealed.
Broken, like damaged?
Broken, like, in 4 pieces.
But, like, it's not like a puzzle dagger. It's like actually broken.
Yeah, it's actually broken.
Okay.
And Raucus,
Hello.
inside yours, you see a collection of small rocks, as well as
Oh my god.
a thumbnail-sized opal and 4 copper.
Oh, just while I'm adding stuff to inventory, how many of those ball bearings did I get?
The silver ones?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't think you actually gave me a quantity.
I might not have. Let's say 4.
Oh.
Peebo,
4.
look, I've got you a townhouse.
And are you like piling the rocks out of the bag to build Peebo a
Little
house?
house, yeah.
So as you're ready to go, Waffles, Raucus just sits down on the ground and starts stacking rocks to build Peebo a small house.
Are those rocks alive too?
No, those are rocks.
Oh. Rocks.
Very different from the other rock in your hand.
Yes, this is Peebo. Well, Peebo, do you like your house?
He nods yes.
Then I just take the rock away. But you didn't pay your taxes, so it's condemned.
I like laugh out loud.
Welcome to Caltournia, where rocks have to pay taxes on their rock homes.
That was just built. He didn't pay the builder's fees.
It's okay, Peebo.
You shall stay with me. Me stay.
So, as your journey continues, you make surprising time and reach Lustra not long after nightfall. Walking into town, you see a large collection of tents off to your left, and a beautiful inn on the right. Just outside the inn, there's a small fire pit where a woman stands in front of a sword impaled into a stone. There is a collection of people sitting on benches around a large campfire.
So is it more like a statue? Like a landmark?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And the girl begins to speak. Says, This isn't a story that I tell often, but it's an important one, and one to remember. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Adventures in Caltournia. You can find us playing live every Monday over on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also find live play videos of our games for up to 45 days after broadcast to catch up on the action and see the amazing scenery. See you next week, Wanderers.